Hey there, my crowbar-wielding lab rats. Today we're diving into the world of Half-Life, a game where scientists with a PhD and a crowbar does more to save the world than anyone in a suit and tie ever could. Grab your lab coats and hazard suits. We're about to explore how a theoretical disaster turned into a theoretical triumph in gaming history. And trust me, the secrets hidden in Black Mesa are juicier than a head crab on a hot skillet. Stay tuned to uncover how Half-Life not only revolutionized first-person shooters, but also made us believe that even the nerdiest among us could be a hero in an alien apocalypse. Way back in the mid-1990s, a little-known company called Valve Corporation decided to step into the gaming world, wielding nothing but ambition and a vision to turn the science fiction nightmare into a playable reality. Founded by former Microsoft employees Gabe Newell and Mike Harrington, Valve was a fledgling startup determined to carve its own path in gaming history. What they lacked in experience, they made up for in boldness, diving headfirst into developing the first title, Half-Life. The inspiration for Half-Life was born from a desire to merge the intense action of first-person shooters with the immersive storytelling of an RPG. The team wanted to break away from the standard shoot everything that moves gameplay and create a world where every action and every event told a part of the story. To do this, they chose to use the Quake engine, which they heavily modified to suit their needs, eventually developing what would be known as the Gold SRC engine. This engine not only supported their graphical ambitions, but also allowed for more intricate narrative and AI capabilities, such as having non-player characters, NPCs, that could interact realistically with the player. Valve's approach to game development was unorthodox. They adopted a Cabal system, which was a flat organizational structure allowing for maximum creative input from all team members. This democratic approach was somewhat controversial, but ultimately led to a highly collaborative environment where innovative ideas could flourish. One such idea was the introduction of scripted sequences that advanced the story without taking control away from the players, a revolutionary concept at the time. During development, Valve faced significant challenges. The game's development stretched over a year past its expected release date, pushing the team's limits and the patience of their publishers. However, Valve's insistence on quality over speed paid off, setting a new standard for video games with its seamless blend of action and story. Yet the road to release wasn't without its bumps. The initial reaction to an early version of Half-Life shown at Electronic Entertainment Expo, or E3, was lukewarm, leading to a major overhaul of the game's levels and artificial intelligence. This pivot was risky, however, it demonstrated Valve's commitment to delivering a groundbreaking experience, underscoring their mantra, "It's done when it's done." So when it finally was done and you got to play it, you quickly learned that Half-Life isn't just a game. It's a riveting tale set in a claustrophobic corridors of Black Mesa Research Facility, where theoretical physicist Dr. Gordon Freeman finds himself smack in the middle of an interdimensional catastrophe. One minute, Gordon's pushing a cart into a particular accelerator for standard experiment. The next, he's dodging headcrabs and aliens in a facility turned war zone. This seamless blend of narrative and gameplay begins as a routine day at work and spirals into a survival horror/rescue mission, unfolding entirely without cutscenes to keep the players locked in the moment. Gordon Freeman, our protagonist, is a silent hero, a PhD from MIT turned unlikely savior, wielding not a sword or a gun initially, but a humble crowbar. This everyman's journey from scientist to savior is compelling, not because he is destined by prophecy or royal blood, but because he is profoundly ordinary and relatable. Freeman's silence throughout the game was a design choice that allowed players to fully immerse themselves in his shoes, a decision that was both praised for its ingenuity and criticized for its detachment. Supporting characters like Barney Calhoun, the security guard who helps Gordon, and Eli Vance, a fellow scientist, adds depth and aids to the narrative, providing assistance and exposition without breaking the gameplay flow. The mysterious G-Man, who appears intermittently to observe and comment cryptically on Gordon's progress, adds an intriguing layer of mystery and speculation that has fueled fan theories for decades. The real star of Half-Life, however, might be the storytelling method itself, environmental and indirect. Valve eschewed traditional narrative techniques for dynamic storytelling, where the environment and the player's interactions within it reveal the plot. The collapsing infrastructure of Black Mesa, the scattered papers, and overheard conversations all serve to pull the player deeper into the game's world without a single line of dialogue from the main character. But who needs dialogue when you have gameplay mechanics that aren't just a means to an end, they are the end itself? Let's start with the AI, which might not seem like a big deal now, but back in 1998, having enemies that could assess threats, navigate complex environments, and even call for backup was like discovering your game console could make breakfast. It's mind-blowing. The game's use of scripted sequences, a radical departure from the cutscene-heavy games of the time, also deserves a nod. Instead of pausing the action to watch a mini-movie, players lived out the drama in real time. This approach not only maintained the immersion, but also kept the adrenaline high. Imagine you're sneaking around through dark corridors, and just as you take a breath, a ceiling panel crashes down, revealing an alien ambush. No cut to black, no break in the action, just pure, uninterrupted gameplay. And speaking of uninterrupted, if you're enjoying this dive into gaming mechanics and don't want the excitement to stop, why not smash that like button and subscribe? It's quicker than a head crab leap and ensures you won't miss out on our next gaming adventure. Now, back to the chaos that is Black Mesa. The introduction of the crowbar as Gordon's first weapon was a stroke of genius. It's not just a tool, it's a symbol of survival and resourcefulness. This simple piece of metal is your key to everything from smashing crates to defending yourself against the horrors of the facility. The game's physics, based on the modified Quake engine, allowed for a level of interaction with the environment that was unprecedented. Everything from boxes to explosive barrels could be used to solve puzzles or create makeshift weapons. Half-Life also introduced the concept of health and ammo pack management in a way that felt organic to the setting. Scattered health packs and ammo crates made players ration their resources and approach each encounter strategically. This wasn't just a run and gun, it was a think, plan, and then attack. Or run like heck if your plans fell through. Through these mechanics, Half-Life taught players that in a world gone awry, every step forward was earned, every shadow could hide a friend or foe, and every victory was a triumph not just of firepower, but of wit and will. The game didn't just challenge players to shoot, it challenged them to think, adapt, and survive. Which is why when Half-Life hit the shelves in 1998, it wasn't just released. It was detonated like a resonance cascade event in the gaming world. Sales skyrocketed, with the game shipping over 50,000 copies within the first 6 weeks, eventually selling millions worldwide. This wasn't just good, it was stratospheric, especially for the first time a developer like Valve, who probably expected success, but maybe not a crowbar carrying cult following. But let's talk about the impact beyond the cash registers. Half-Life didn't just capture gamers' imaginations, it seized entire communities, inspiring a modding scene that will birth titles like Counter-Strike and Day of Defeat. These mods weren't just popular, they were revolutionary, turning Half-Life from a single-player experience into a multiplayer phenomenon and eventually leading to the development of Valve's own Half-Life 2. Through its sales, it's spawning an entire genre. In its reshaping of the game development philosophies, Half-Life demonstrated that a game could be a cultural artifact, a community builder, and an educational tool, all while being enormously fun to play. The game's legacy is not just in units moved, but it's in the movements it inspired across the gaming community and beyond. But alright, you headcrab hunters and puzzle solvers, it's time for a trivia challenge. Get ready to test your Half-Life knowledge with some deep dives and secrets that might just blow your mind like a well-placed grenade in a ventilation shaft. Here we go. First up, what hidden messages can players find in the game that involves a rather famous food item? In Half-Life, there's an Easter egg involving a microwave casserole in the Black Mesa's facility's break room. If you repeatedly use the microwave, you'll eventually blow up the casserole, which not only gets a reaction from a nearby scientist, but also showcases the game's attention to interactive environments. Next up, do you know the name of the mysterious figure who appears throughout the game, monitoring Gordon Freeman's progress? That would be G-Man. This enigmatic character is seen observing the player at various points, delivering cryptic messages and making you question his motives and identity. His presence adds a layer of mystery that has sparked countless fan theories about his true role in the Half-Life saga. And now for number 3. Can you name the infamous level that was so challenging and frustrating that it became a legendary among players? The level in question is We've Got Hostiles. This part of the game is notorious for its sudden spike in difficulty, introducing players to the military forces that have come to clean up the mess at Black Mesa. The combination of gunfights and tactical navigation through a heavily fortified area makes this level a memorable challenge. And last, Half-Life has a connection to a famous science fiction film through its initial codename. Can you name it? Before being officially named Half-Life, the game was developed under the codename Quiver, which was a nod to the Arrowhead military base from Stephen King's novel, which was adapted into the film The Mist. This connection hints at the influence of classic sci-fi and horror on the game's development. And there you have it, folks. Everything you never knew you needed to know about Half-Life, from explosive casseroles to mysterious G-men lurking in the dark corners. We've delved into the atomic structure of a game that changed the world one crowbar swing at a time. Until next time, keep your suits charged and your crowbars ready. If you enjoyed exploring the history of Half-Life, click this video here to see more from the Retro Reload. And as always, thank you for watching.